Hey, really? Am I live? That's cool. Okay. I guess I started a couple minutes early. I'll just wait for people to get here. Hold on. Clean the lens a little bit. There we go. It's been a while. Not that long, about a month. It's been a pretty eventful month too. And we're gonna talk about that. And we're gonna play some video games. It's gonna be balanced. Balanced. Ahoy! Ahoy there, Jody Anthony. Welcome, welcome. Oh, hold on.
Ahoy, ahoy there, Jody Anthony.
Oh,
welcome, welcome.
getting some.
Hold on.
There we go. It is Vink time. Mark, hello, hello. I'm sorry. I've been out of the fold for a long time. Um, Gosh, we got some glare going on here. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I don't know why we got glare. I guess it's my shining personality. Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys an update on all some of the stuff that's been going on in my life, and if that's not very interesting for you, well, if you're watching this already not live, just skip ahead. Skip ahead till you see some video games. Don't worry about the Vink stuff. You can just skip ahead. We're gonna play some Famicom games. I got a stack of Famicom games and some Famicom Disk System games because I decided to hook up the Twin instead of just the Famicom. So I got this whole box of games to test. So I don't know how many we're gonna get to, but you can skip ahead. But it's gonna be story time before that. It's gonna be story time because it's been it's um it's been surreal, is what it's been. Hold on. I need something for this. All right. This better have pure sugar. I need the strong stuff. High fructose corn syrup. Well, whatever. All right. So what's up? Let's see. There is a mention of funerals. I mean, I'm fine. My immediate family is fine, but I mean, yeah, funerals is in the title because I don't know. I kind of want to talk about, and again, I can see you hovering over the unsubscribe button, but I want to talk about a Japanese funeral that I went to because last week my father-in-law passed away, and sorry, I apologize, but you guys are going to be a little bit of my therapy. and, and if that scares you off that that's totally okay. But it's actually incredibly interesting. But like I'm here in Japan where nobody realizes how surreal the whole thing is because that's kind of what they're used to. But I'm not. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But I'm I wouldn't say I wouldn't say shocked, but I'm still the experience is still sitting with me. I think that's the easiest way to put it. Like um it happened last Thursday morning about gosh, I think it was about 2:30 or 3 in the morning. My wife received a phone call and you never want to get a phone call at 2:33 in the morning, obviously. That's the absolute worst time to get a phone call because nothing good is going to be on the other line. You know that. So she got that, and I was still awake when she got the call because it was because I have been having a hard time sleeping lately, been doing lesson planning, things like that. So but she got the call and she said it was the hospital. She had to come down. She had to bring her mother and yeah, situations not good, obviously. Um I I guess it's not a huge surprise because 'cause, he'd been sick, not sick, but, like, he'd been in a, care home for a few years, actually, you know? He'd had a stroke about 15 years back, like, quite a ways back, but because he was in that state for so long, it's still a little surprising, if that makes any sense, like, it surprising, but not surprising, you know? But my, my wife went down there, took her mother-in-law because she doesn't drive, again, middle of the night, and, um I don't know, about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, because I was staying awake, because I was gonna try to stay awake and be there when she got back, but, I got the message that he had passed away, and, I wasn't there because I was staying home with the kids, but, you know, um, so I had work in the morning, although, I mean, because I couldn't cancel things, on that short notice, but, I only went to work for a couple hours just to arrange substitutes for my classes and things like that, but, um, so I got a little bit of sleep, and while I was sleeping, I guess, the funeral started being arranged. The the speed of the whole thing is just absolutely astounding to me. Um As I said, he passed away in the early, early hours of the morning, and we were beginning the funeral that evening around, maybe 6 o'clock in the evening? 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening? Like, it was incredibly fast. I wasn't expecting that 'cause, like a funeral in the United States probably is gonna take place about 4 or 5 days later. United States is huge, they wanna make sure all the family can get back, things like that. I don't know, for those not in the United States, how long is that process usually, in your country? I know in some Southeast Asian countries, the process can be weeks long, but yeah, Jason, a couple days or so usually. But I guess Japan is a fairly small country, and I mean, and you know, I am gonna say some things in this stream that are not meant to be grotesque or morbid, but are factual. And I would just like to say that if anybody has lost someone really recently or anything like that, I don't mean to belittle or anything, the concept of death. And actually, I think I'm still working this stuff out. So I just apologize if anything seems a little strange, but or morbid or anything like that. Just a little bit of a warning. But they don't embalm in Japan. They don't do anything particularly to preserve the body. There's morgues, so they chill the body or maybe use dry ice or something. But traditionally, Japanese funerals took place very quickly because since they don't embalm or preserve, and it's an intensely humid country, they had to do them with speed. It was just absolutely out of necessity. Um, so, um, you when you have and yes, they're gonna cremate, and I'm gonna get to, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get to that because, that's the part of the story that sits with me most because I did not realize that I was going to be part of the cremation process. I'll get to that later. That's farther on in the story, but yeah, the live burial is very, very rare here. I basically only reserved for like imperial family or people who, or maybe in areas with a high concentration of Christian people, which is not much of Japan. So, um, I follow this YouTube channel called Ask a Mortician. It's fascinating, and it is absolutely fascinating. But at the same time, I don't I want to do this in a very respectful way. Um, but yeah, it's I want a fully natural barrel, not embalming. Jody, you might find this actually really fascinating though. So um, but anyway, so I again, it's a few hours and I slept a couple of hours, but um so waking up, of course, that there's the thing we got to explain to the kids. And that's something I was not looking forward to. Because, that I've never had to break that before. I've been in the situation where it's been broken to me by my parents that a grandparent had passed away, but I've never been in the position where I had to. Um and I w- they took it much better than I thought. Probably better than I ever took it when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, like my oldest is 13 and she was incredibly mature about it. And the 10-year-old was also really good. But again, I guess for a large portion of the time that they can remember, he's been sick or been in the hospital. So I guess it wasn't maybe super surprising. And the two youngest kids, they didn't really even know him. In fact, due to the pandemic, and this is a sad part of this story. Due to the pandemic, um, the hospital he was staying at, it's kind of hospital care center. It's not quite a retirement home, but it's not quite a hospital. I'm not sure exactly how to put it, but like, um, but because people are sick and I guess in the process of dying there, um, due to when the pandemic happened, they absolutely they shut down no visitors really for a while, and then it was still no children visiting. So actually my youngest daughter never met him in person. Just I think through video chat perhaps. So it was an unreal. So the first time she ever saw him in person was in state, which was which is just another one of those things that we're going to look back on as just being absolutely surreal from the last couple of years. I think that's just nuts. Um so but anyway, so I but so the young ones, they didn't know what was going on. They I don't think they totally I mean, it's like 6 and 4 years old. And I don't think I mean, I think they know what death is, but I don't think they really I don't think it's super clicked for them. Anyway, let me show you the place. I picked up a pamphlet while I was there. And the grounds were quite beautiful. Now, what this is it's basically a funeral home and like crematorium. It had this really interesting building that was kind of built like at a slant. And you can't see it here, but it's completely surrounded by a reflecting pool, and there's glass at the bottom. So, like during the service, you can kind of see the water flowing around it. It was actually quite beautiful. Um, which I wasn't completely expecting. Um, it's just now I'm sorry, this is a price guide for different funeral services. And the basic one is, do you see that wooden box right there is basically just a pine box. Um, which will not be lowered into any ground. It will actually be completely burned at the crematorium. So it's not a very expensive, it's not a very fancy, it's barely lined. It's got like a little bit of fabric inside, and that's it. Um, I'm not sure if they went for this one or this one, but you see these ones have flower arrangements and a more like kind of like altar type thing. And then and there's a little table with a bunch of incense burners, candles, things like that. And the box is behind it. Um, oh, just a second. I'm going to read some comments. Okay, talk about that. Don't most of the funerals in Japan also double as crematoriums? Yes, yes, almost all of them. Yes. Um, sorry, asking a question that will show my ignorance of Japanese culture, and you don't have to answer it. Okay, how is death seen in Japan? Like here in the U.S., I feel a lot of it's we just don't talk about it. It seems to be very taboo to really talk about. Um, That's a very interesting question. I'm still kind of trying to figure that out myself because there are so many things that like are taboo in Japan because they remind people of death. Like there's different ways that you can use your chopsticks that are seen as taboo because of the connections to death and things like that. And I'm going to get to that later if it's okay because it'll get kind of back to the cremation. Um, thing for example when they put they stick incense into these burners or sand or whatever with the sticks like kind of straight up when they burn them at the altar. So that's why in Japan, if you've got like a bowl of rice, you're not supposed to stick your chopsticks directly in it because it looks like the incense sticks burning and it reminds people of death, which is not seen. But on the other hand, I think the Japanese funeral wasn't as sad. I don't know. I'm only basing this off personal experience, but like I think, especially for those, I mean, the idea of most Japanese people are not particularly religious for in the day-to-day sense. Like most of them don't go to church, they don't go to regular things, but they will go to like a shrine to celebrate happy things and usually a Buddhist temple to celebrate the more serious things. It's Buddhism seems to have an air of seriousness, an air of like when it really counts. But most Japanese people will live their life kind of as a mixture of several religions and also no religion, if that makes sense. Like, there's a saying in Japan that is born Shinto, marry Christian, die Buddhist, because when a baby is born, they're gonna go to the local shrine and they're gonna bless the baby, and it's a happy thing. And when you have your like a coming of age ceremony, you're gonna go to the shrine and to celebrate. But a lot of people love to have the white wedding, like the Christian style. And there's all these fake churches all around Japan that have actors who like foreigners like me who get a side gig doing services dressing up as a priest but not actually any ordained priest because you don't actually need that because everyone's going to get no matter what, no matter if you get a religious wedding or not, you're going to get your marriage um at city hall. That's how it's gonna be stamped or whatever, and then whatever ceremony you do is just as a bonus. No one there's no official documentation that's signed at the wedding ceremony. If you're a religious one, it might go on the rolls of your, like, family register or something, but, like, it is it is that. Yeah, you could totally be a fake priest in Japan. You could totally. I knew a guy back in Nagasaki who made quite a bit of money because they tip quite well, especially and they don't mind. You could probably say whatever you want because he like officiated like at least mostly in English and it you know, yeah, a lot of people do that because there's yeah, th like, my city has a Catholic church and 2 Protestant churches, like, that are real churches, but Japanese people don't really wanna be married there because you have to be kind of connected with, the faith. But they also have like 3 wedding chapels that are just they look like churches. They got the cross and everything. They're a little more beautiful than the actual churches, and, they're clearly made for weddings, and I've been to a couple, weddings like that, and, they wear the woman wears the white dress or whatever. Sometimes they have a Shinto marriage ceremony before and then do the white wedding, and then they change. There's a lot of costume changes. The woman will start with a kimono, then go for the wedding dress, and then after there's like this strange cocktail dress for the after party. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot of costume changes. You know what? Maybe I'll talk about weddings another time because I just celebrated my 15th wedding anniversary and I just watched the video again. Oh, I was so young. Okay, anyway, sorry, I'm going to read some of these comments. Sounds like you've endured quite a few shocks, culture and personal. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Alexa, it's been, yeah. I know you're not supposed to leave chopsticks upright in a bowl. That's right. What are the chopsticks? Oh, really? I wanna watch The Wolverine. It was filmed in the city where I went to college. I really wanna watch that. Fusion of beliefs, yeah. Passively spiritual is how I describe the Japan. Yeah, yeah, I think that's good. Um, let's see. Passively spiritual is a great term, but it's more than that. I think Japanese people in general are fairly rational, but also superstitious, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, I don't think people in Japan live their life according to a belief system, but there's a lot of little things that are like intertwined in the culture that are based off like belief systems. But again, but when it comes down to the actual I should have brought my prayer beads with me. I'm not Buddhist, but I'm, my family is. So like I wanted to show my support. So I have a string of the Buddhist prayer beads or whatever. And I didn't know how I'm supposed to hold them because there's ways you wrap them around. So I went on the internet to look it up, but I had to ask my wife, I'm like, what denomination, like what sect of Buddhism are you? Because there's different ways to hold the beads. And and uh and she was like, I have no idea, you know. So like but she showed me how she did it and I figured out what it was based on that. But like even though, so like there's a lot to it that I think people just it's kind of an inherited religion. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. And oh, if you want to talk about religion in Japan, that's a whole nother topic because religion in Japan is all messed up because of World War II. Because for a while, all religions other than Shinto were banned. They had state-sponsored Shinto, so even the Shinto shrines themselves, they had to be state-controlled because Shinto is the religion, the indigenous religion of Japan, and they kind of distorted it. One could say controversially pervert it towards being a type of government worship or emperor worship. So and after the war was over and religion was allowed again, it just never picked up in the way it had before the war. So anyway, um, all right. Passively spiritual. I really like that. Daniel, 14 years this year. Good job. Well done for you. Um, Anyway, I forgot where I was. I was just answering okay, anyway, so we're at the night before. Now, I'm trying to use Western terms, but I don't know if they really work, because, Western funeral and a Japanese funeral are quite different to begin with. So but I'm gonna use some Western terms. So I guess the night again, he passed away that morning. But, we got there and there were all these flower arrangements who had been sent in by the company that he used to work for, and, it was all set up, it was all laid out, and,
Here's what I
oh,
found.
sorry, my watch just tried to answer something, and, so I'm guessing that what happened the first night was kind of a mixture of what we in America would call the visitation, usually takes place at a funeral home. where the body is kind of laid in state, and also kind of like the wake. But I'm also going to use the term vigil because, and this is where it gets very interesting. Hold on, I so anyway, this funeral hall, the crematorium is connected to it. So as you said, so actually they only can accommodate one actual funeral at a time, one family funeral, but they have several different cremation things. So a lot of people will have the funeral, not funeral, but like a lot of people will do, yeah, the funeral at another place or even at the home, and then bring the body here for cremation. So they're actually doing most of their business with the cremation, but funeral services is just something they also offer. Um, so so anyway, we get there and we've got an attendant who was super helpful. She must, I mean, she was there helping I mean, arranging these things from the early hours of the morning, and she was still there. I hope she slept during the day, but like she stayed with us the entire time through this, and very, very grateful. But anyway, we're there, and the body is there. Now, if you are interested in seeing a movie that kind of goes through a lot of this process, but as a comedy, as an entertainment, look up, try to watch the movie The Funeral by Itami Jizo. Jizo Itami. I'm not sure which way it would be on the title. Um, he's the same director as Tom Popo, and this was his first big movie, and it won the like Academy Award in Japan in like 1984, 1985, something like that. And it shows a lot of this process in a kind of comedic way, which doesn't sound like it would be. And it's a comedy, but it's not super funny. um Hello, the green number 3. I'm okay, but, um, kinda talking through a bit of a sad patch that I'm, continuing to work out. Thank you very much for joining tonight. I know you're having some trouble right now too, so, um, praying for you. Um, so anyway, um the coffin is just a box. It's just absolutely a wooden box. Oh, what happened? Sorry. For those of you who are just popping in right now, I'm kind of talking through my father-in-law passed away last week, and I'm kind of just talking through the funeral process in Japan. And don't worry, we'll play some Famicom games later. But you know, there aren't many foreigners in my city, and there's very few Americans. There's a handful of us, and most of them I don't want to burden is the wrong word. Not that I want to burden you guys, but like I haven't talked through this yet. Do you know what I mean? And again, I'm sorry that you're kind of becoming a bit of my therapy. I apologize for that, but I'm gonna try to make it as entertaining as possible. But frankly, putting words to some of these things, I think I've been waiting for a while. And again, I if you feel that that's using you, please just you don't. I really don't want that to be um, what's going on. So, um, but yeah. But I do appreciate that you guys are sticking around, but I will not be offended at all if this is not your cup of tea. That is totally fine. It's I usually just play video games. Um, okay, yeah, you can send me the bill after the stream. I should be lying back. But anyway, um, so again, it's a very, very simple wooden box, and unlike in America where you have, basically, the coffin is open or at least half open, there's just a little window. It's 2 little doors, and they open it up, and you can just see the face basically, about about this big. Now, what's interesting is the top of the coffin isn't actually affixed to anything. It can actually just be removed. It's basically just sitting on top of the box. It's a wooden box with a board with a small window that's just on it. And this is actually part of the whole ceremony, because depending on where you are, and depending on how they do that, during one part of the ceremony, the family members will actually come up and nail the coffin shut, because it is in two pieces during most of the ceremony. We didn't do that at mine, but my wife remembers doing it for her uncle's funeral years ago. But anyway, oh, and for those of you who are also expressing loss recently, I my condolences. Mr. Nemo, your grandma passed away, and um, this is, but yeah, I think we should all be able to share here. Anyway, so there was just this window, and I will tell you, like, this was something I wasn't entirely prepared for, because I've been to lots of funerals before in the United States, or a few in Japan where I wasn't a close enough relative to get up close, but the body is not embalmed. And I didn't realize how much of a difference that makes. They put mortician's makeup. They try to get the skin tone to kind of match what it looked like when they were alive, obviously. And the skin had kind of grayed, and uh the mouth was open. He had a bit of an overbite, so the mouth was open like this, about that much. And I don't I don't know, but in the United States, I think we really go for the idea of it should look like the person is peacefully sleeping. And I think that's calming for the survivors, for the people who are watching, for the family members, but it's kind of also unnatural. And this what looked scarier, but at the same time, I don't mean to be gross, but I'm gonna use the word organic. It looked like how a body probably should look. Does that make sense? I mean, it looked like a dead body is probably supposed to look, but I guess I've never really seen one before. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen a non-embalmed dead body. So, it was it was hard to look at, because, um, it was real. Do you know what I mean? I think part of the embalming process is to remove the reality from it. Um, Daniel, I'm really sorry for making you uncomfortable. I apologize for that. But yeah, if you need to tap out right now, that is totally okay. That is I totally understand that. Um, I'm gonna move on to some other things. Um, but anyway, that happened. There's absolutely gorgeous flowers behind. Now, as a bit of a thing, I didn't realize how much I didn't realize, all the symbolism involved in the different processes. Um, there's colors associated with the death, and they are yellow, white, and purple, actually. And so I would go to these flower shops, and all the time I would see these little bouquets of yellow, purple, and white um, flowers, and I thought they were very pretty, and, when I was still dating, I bought one for my wife, and she's like, "These are funeral flowers," and I'm like, "I am so sorry," because they're quite pretty, um, but, they had arranged a lot of them, and also orchids, lilies aren't so associated as they are in the West, but yeah, orchids were there, and, um, yeah, all kinds of other stuff, yeah. Daniel, if you wanna stick around, you totally can, and if you don't, I promise I'll do some video games, the next time. So, um, I'm actually finding this a little hard to say as well, but I kind of feel like I have to keep going right now. Um, yeah, if that's alright. Um, so, anyway, there were the flowers were arranged, there was the what's interesting is the visitation for other ones. Again, we usually have the body all out, but this one there was an altar in front of it and the pine box behind. And people who were visiting would come and they would take a pinch of incense, not the stick, just basically a powder. And they had these kind of burning coals, I suppose, and you could just sprinkle it on there. And I think, the family is supposed to do it 3 times during the whole ceremony, like, the wake, the funeral, and after the cremation. I think that's but visitors usually just do it, the 1 time. Um, okay. The only reason I went to funerals when I was younger, just like a Latino of any age, just to eat the bread and donuts and drink coffee. Yeah, when my grandfather passed away when I was 7, all my cousins were around. It was great. It was like a party. It was, there's the sad stuff going on too, but I remember running around the funeral home with my cousins, taking all the little name card things that they have that you're supposed to take as a memento. They look like bookmarks, or everyone were throwing them around like shuriken. Very, um, and so I suppose that's probably the experience my youngest kids were having. They thought it was because there were snacks all over. Um, but but anyway, so yeah, we put the incense, and that first night, a Buddhist monk came and to chant what I believe would be a sutra, because it was quite a long chant. He was ringing the bell and chanting this sutra. We're all holding our prayer beads, and at that point, my kids are bored, and I get it. They don't really know what's going on, and they needed to walk around a bit. Yeah, my father-in-law was Buddhist. In Japan, most I don't think many people are practicing Buddhists. I mean, some. There's definitely some. I know a few people who, but most of them are like traditionally Buddhist, and I think that's what he was. I don't, they would go there during, um, yeah, culturally Buddhist. Yeah. Familial, yeah, traditionally Buddhist. Um, but anyway, there were these sutras being chanted. Of course, um, but my kids at that point, they were the two youngest, they were just they'd had enough of that. They wanted to move around a bit. So what was really nice is off to the side. there was a little tatami room. It was about, maybe 8 or 10 mats big, not so big, but just there were snacks, and there was tea, and there were these big pillows and blankets, and, we just went over there for a little while, and it was I think I needed it too, to tell you the honest truth. Um, but it was good that I could get them away from, disturbing, the solemnity of the occasion. Um, hold on, I'll show you what the room looked like. Obviously, I'm not gonna take photos of anything, but, but I did take photos of this waiting room because I thought it was really interesting that they even had something like that. Just a second. Can you see this? Those are tatami mats right there. There's my son. He's just standing there. There's a little refrigerator, and there was even a TV in there. And it was just a place where I c- I, I it felt like a chill out room to me. But it's more than that actually, because often the family is going to eat a meal there if people coming from out of town. But also it's a room where it can be arranged to do um to do the vigil. And this is very interesting. Um, so if you want to, and traditionally it would be, um, close family members would stay overnight, with the body as vigil. And this happened in the United States too a long time ago when people used to have funerals in the home and things like that. But it's very rare these days. But in Japan, it's still definitely an option. Now, my mother-in-law is older, and we didn't opt to do the vigil, but I think it's a beautiful option for those who would. Um, so but anyway, that room, there's blankets and futons in there as well in that closet. So it could, you could stay overnight there, or you could, or if someone was visiting from out of town and couldn't book a hotel at the last minute, they could also stay there. And um there's a little restroom, there was a microwave oven over in the corner. So like it was like a DVD player. I suppose if you made a memorial service DVD or something, or maybe, I don't know, you just wanna watch a movie. I don't know, exactly how that was, but, it, uh we made use of that room a few times when my kids got a little antsy. But anyway, Um, then we went back, he was still chanting the sutras, but it was time for us for the family to put the incense on, so they called me back. But again, my kids didn't really know what's going on. All they knew is they'd been eating the chocolates that were left there, so they were a little hyped up. And my 4-year-old, she comes back into, the funeral home, and she's just like, because she had a bunch of candy, which dad doesn't usually let her do. And I'll say it got a laugh, from people, because and for some reason, my son started singing "Happy Birthday," of all, I mean, in English, but of all the things to, like, start, I don't know, I think maybe he was trying to process, maybe he was looking for attention. I have no idea, um but yeah, so the funeral the first part of the funeral service finished, and we went home. We went home, and we were exhausted because, none of us had gotten much sleep, the night before, and we all kinda slept in, and we kinda cleaned the house because I don't know, maybe we thought people would be visiting or something, I'm not sure. But, um But, then, the next day was gonna be the end of the funeral. Like, I think it's a lot more drawn out in a lot of countries, but the next day I was going to be, oh, yeah. Yeah, at the rest area, they had, like, toothbrushes and combs and shaving kits too, again, so people if anyone stayed over. This is the outside of the funeral hall, where I was, and it's so interesting because the site that they built this, around it were ancient burial tombs. They call them, what is it? Is it kofun? Kofun? Like the keyhole-shaped funeral mounds. They were, like, outside, on the ground there, because apparently the site that they were in was also a burial site, like, 1,000 years ago or a few hundred I'm not sure exactly the timetable there, but, like, yeah, ancient burial ground as well. And so in the funeral home was a museum of, like, burial practices. So, like, while you're waiting for your cremation, you can go and see a museum exhibit about ancient Japanese burial practices. Again, surreal, just surreal. Um, so yeah, but yeah, it was I mean, it was the neatest place. If anybody's looking for a good place to be cremated, I'll recommend it. Um, because it was gorgeous, though. It was gorgeous, and it was peaceful, and it was tremendously respectful, and the staff was so they were, like, always there, but not there, if that makes sense. Like, they were if you needed anything, they were there, but they didn't interfere at all in anything that was going on. It was like a stagehand or something, like, they were running the show, but they were not trying to really be part of it. It was really good. Anyway, um, yeah, my kids wound up playing around with all the pillows and things in the break room, and, yeah, it so anyway, we went home, got some sleep, we came back the next day, and, it was time for I guess, it's time for the big event, and, so we went there. There was another small, visitation of the body, and, again, there was a monk came, there was some chanting, and then it was time to finish the ceremony, and again, this is something I was not prepared for because, um they moved the table away that was kind of blocking, the funeral box, and then, again, I thought it was attached, but they just took the lid completely off of the pine box, so now the body was just out there, and what they did was they grabbed a bunch of, the pairs of the scissors, and they started cutting the bouquets, like the big flower displays. They just started, cutting them down. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna read comments for a second. Daniel H says, "Dumb question. Does the family or the culture in general make any distinction, or I guess, do they accept you as someone who isn't Japanese?" I'm probably wording the question in an offensive way. No, not at all. I mean, it would be hard to make a general statement for Japan as a whole, as I can. But I will say that this experience with the funeral, deeply moved me in a way that my wife's Japanese family truly, not just accepted me, but, like, really made me feel that I was a important part of the family. And I'm gonna get to that a little bit, but I mean, even the part that I was involved in this part of the funeral would is something that, like, is not, I suppose, something many foreigners have ever experienced, ever. Um, I'm guessing you were the one, if not only American at the yes, I was the only American at that well, I mean, I was the only, like, non my children are half American, and they've got American passports, so they're technically American, but yeah, but I know what you're saying, and yes, it was only me, and probably basically, the parts that I'm gonna talk about now, the parts of this funeral is reserved entirely for family, and one must be and family on good terms as well. Um, so I think unless you're married to a Japanese person or have become Japanese yourself, I suppose, like by changing nationality or whatever, I doubt anyone is going to experience the things that I'm going to talk about next. Because it's not something that a friend or anybody really outside of the inner circle of a family would be experiencing. Um, so, um, yeah, Sean, thank you for popping in, and yeah, and Sean, if you got a chance later, I'll love to talk with you. Enjoy your egg hunt. Um, anyway, sorry. So they've opened up the casket. Now at this point, any of the visitors are gone. This is just the family at this point. This is just the family. And again, I was a little nervous because I am definitely adopted family, and even the relatives um, from the other side of the family were not there anymore. But I was told that I was part of this, and again, I felt very accepted, loved. Um, so they took all these bouquets and the ones that had been brought in, like, and they started cutting the flowers, the petals off, and the family members were putting the flowers into the casket, into the wooden box, um, st- and leaving basically just the face, but like surrounding with these flowers. Um, my son is super into origami. That's his passion. He loves origami. So he made a bunch of these little origamis, cranes and sausages and eggs. I don't know why, but and he put them in the casket along with all these flowers. And this is where it kind of switched in my head from being kind of morbid and death-like to really beautiful. These beautiful flowers were being put around, and it felt peaceful. It felt, natural. It it felt, I don't know, it's just kind of a return, sorry, I'm not sure I have exactly the words to, describe what it was like, but it felt right, if that makes sense. It just felt so after a while, the coffin is just filled with these beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous flowers, and, just the face is still visible, and the rest is just flowers around, and it just so even my kids were putting flowers around, and they were saying, "We're making grandpa look beautiful." And they were smiling while they were doing it. And I just thought, that makes so much sense in a way. Like let's do something beautiful at the end, right? I mean, now, depending on where the funeral is held, or maybe what sect of Buddhism, or maybe I'm not sure what is the determining factor, but at this point, they put the lid back on, and I think in some places they will. In the movie I told you about, the Jizu Itami movie, The Funeral, there's a scene where they're pounding the nails down, but they didn't do that there. They just kind of laid it on top. But um, I was, I guess, a pallbearer, you could say. I mean, there's no handles or anything. We just picked the box up from the bottom. But again, I felt really honored to be part of that process. Like, I felt I just really felt that I was part of that family. I'd been a pallbearer for a few funerals that I've been to. Sadly, one of, you know, but and it's always been that you need a lot of people to carry a casket, and it's quite heavy, and it's, very awkward, but this box was so light. It was just so light because really it is just a simple pine box, and in death, as an old man, he weighed very, very little, so it was light and full of flowers, and, we loaded it up, we brought it out of there, and, we moved it to, we walked to what is the crematorium. Now, this is where I my preparedness kind of ended. Now, I knew that the body was going to be cremated. I knew that, obviously, because it's Japan. Everyone, they cremate the body, but I didn't realize that we would be bringing the coffin, I mean, into the chamber. We slid the the pine box into the chamber. Now, it was incredibly dignified, really respectful. To tell you the truth, it reminded me of looking like an elevator, because it had a door that just opened. I mean, in olden times, it was probably quite different, but, like, this is a very modern facility, and they loaded they put they slid the coffin into there, and the door closed, and there was a button which would start the cremation process, and it was for my mother-in-law to press. And I guess this is can be a fairly emotional, time, and I suppose many people will pause and reflect a lot, and then when they're ready, they hit the button, which now, obviously, you don't see or hear anything. It's very, very, very respectful, but when you hit the button, just a little light goes on that's, like, in use. Um, and there were 4 different chambers there, I know, because as I said, they do a lot more cremations than they do funerals there. And, so, I I'm not sure if they soundproofed it or not. I wasn't particularly listening for anything, but I I figured I'd hear something and I didn't. So it must have been soundproof to a certain amount. Um but um and then And then we had lunch because the cremation process takes about 2 hours. I'm not an expert on how on the logistics or technicalities of that. But, so we went back to, yeah, you'd think you'd hear the flames. Yeah, again, in the movie I watched, the Jizu Utami movie, they could hear kind of the gas burner or whatever going. But anyway, we went back to that hall and we had like a bento lunch. Now, what's interesting is on the back of this, you see that this is the back of that flyer I was showing earlier. Um, they showed the different lunch options that you could have, and they're not prepared on site. They're catered in, but and we had these bentos, and they were good. And I don't know, the cousins were playing around, and they were playing with those pillows and everything, and I don't know. I again, like, I think because I'm out of my depth, out of my realm, um, I I don't know. It's like we're eating bento while we're waiting for a cremation to happen. Like, it's a good use of the time, but for some reason it felt, "Is that okay?" It's obviously okay. Um, but my daughter and I at that time, we decided to go for a little walk around the grounds, and that's where we found, the burial mounds and things like that. Obviously, you can't go in them, but you can see, and, yeah, there were quite a few of them around, so it must have been a burial site for some pretty high level people. And we went to the little museum, and I picked up this pamphlet because I don't know, it's kind of interesting. And yeah, we walked all around. Again, while we were waiting, and English is my kids' second language. Well, it's kind of their first language too, but like, they're bilingual, so it's they're maybe that 80% of each. You know what I mean? Like they're not exactly 100%. Um, but my daughter said something that I mean, again, I'm not I'm repeating it, and I'm not meaning to be gross, but like, and she was very matter of fact, and she's like, "Dad, when will the baking be done?" And like, I mean, she's clearly doesn't know the word cremation. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever. But like, I don't know. It kind of like, amplified the feelings I was having. It was I don't know. Now, I know cremation has become a lot more popular in the States as well, but I feel like it's a service that you pay for that kind of gets done. Do you know what I mean? You're not so involved in the process. Actually, I'm not sure. I've never been involved in a Western cremation. So if anybody has some insight on that, please let me know. Okay, Daniel 8 says, another dumb question. When your time comes, hopefully many, many years from now, are you opting for a Western funeral or Japanese? Um, that is a fantastic question, Daniel. And it's actually one that I've been asking myself recently because I feel like, I mean, hopefully not for a very, very long time, but if something happens suddenly, I'd kind of like to leave instructions. Um, I'll tell you what I don't want. I don't want the background music that was playing at my father-in-law's funeral. It was just like, it sounded like music box music, and it was like a mixture of like old pop songs and, like, Studio Ghibli songs, like, I think there was the Mononoke theme, and, I mean, that's fine, but, like, my father-in-law wasn't an anime fan, but, like, there would just I want something, what music would I opt for? I don't maybe this is gallows humor, but at the time, I told my daughter I want the song "Dead" by They Might Be Giants. Um, the, it's a kind of a funny song, but also I would like there to be a little bit of levity. That's what it goes. Now it's over, I'm dead, and I haven't done anything that I want, or I'm still alive, and there's nothing I want to do. Um, it's got lines like, "I will never say the word procrastinate again." It's just I don't know if that's what I really want, but, like, I feel like that would make my daughter smile. Um, uh, Look on how cremation works in the US. It's called "Smoke Gets in Your Eyes." That's interesting. Oh, I would read that. I would totally read that. But anyway, um, father-in-law's funeral we played, don't know how it feels. Yeah, yeah. I just but I don't know. I don't know. I guess it kinda depends on the country where I pass away in. Like, I live in Japan right now, and I may die in Japan or I may die in the United States. If I die in Japan, it would be intensely difficult and expensive for my family to do a full body burial, so I'll probably be cremated, you know? Um, I don't know. To tell you the truth, this has got me thinking a lot about it lately, what I wanna do, because I don't want to put the burden of my family trying to decide what they think I might have wanted, you know? So I would like to, if I can, leave instructions to make that process something that they don't have to think about at that time. But, no, and it's not too personal of a question at all, but I don't know if I have a good answer for it yet. Uh, my dad wants hurt by 9-inch nails. Oh, maybe the Johnny Cash cover would be nice. But anyway, um, where was I? Okay, so anyway, the cremation process is going. We're killing time until that's done. Now, this next step was one that I'm not sure if dreading is the right word, but I mean, I've studied Japan quite a bit and I knew what was coming when the timer went off for that cremation. And again, I guess trigger warning, this might seem a bit morbid, but which is what I thought too, but I think it's also intensely respectful and kind of beautiful. But I do wanna say that, this is the point where, that I am still thinking about and have not completely come to terms with yet. Um, After the cremation, we were brought into a room, and, um, now I don't know exactly how cremation works in the United States, but if television has led me to be anything, you bring the body there. After a time, they're gonna give you an urn filled with what looks like a white powder and ash. But when they do a cremation in Japan, it's not quite as thorough is not the right word, but they're not going to burn to the extent where visible bones are not seen, if that makes sense. Um, so what's gonna happen is they're gonna bring this kind of stone slab back out. The box that the body was in has completely burned away at this point, as has all the contents of it. And there are some not completely identifiable, but there are skeletal remains, and those are brought in for the family to see. Um, so we went into this chamber and we saw what remained of my father-in-law. Now, it wasn't like a skeleton. It wasn't like a skeleton. Like, it wasn't, you know, but you could see things that were clearly, uh, parts of a leg bone or parts of, there was no, because the skull, mostly mostly is made of very thin bones. There's You can see a little bit of the jaw, but there's no you see where the head was. You see where the torso was. It's almost like a shadow, but there are bone fragments. And so this this next part is the bone picking. There are sets of chopsticks laid out. And, I've been told, I didn't notice at the time because I wasn't looking for it, but I've been told that the chopsticks are slightly mismatched, like slightly different sizes to kind of represent the chaos of life. But they were, so they brought this out and yeah, we could see, and it was still hot. Like there was radiant heat from it. And we start at the where the feet were. And there is a beautiful pot, kind of not an urn like you'd probably think. It was actually quite large, and with a very wide opening. And we picked up the bones with chopsticks and passed them from chopstick to chopstick and put them in the pot. Um, Remember how I said there's a lot of chopstick rules in Japan that are related to reminding people of death? Um, that's You never pass food from or any object from chopstick to chopstick in Japan. It's considered taboo. And that's because the only time you ever pass something from chopstick to chopstick in Japan is during this process. Um, so my daughter was to my right side, and I was there as she passed a part of my father-in-law's skeleton to me, who I passed, um, and we put them in this pot. And some of them were, yeah, still kind of I identifiable bone. Again, it's not like I don't know how to explain it. It's like it it was basically just shaped ash at this point. It wasn't but I don't think I've ever felt closer to my family because again, this process is I'm gonna use the word intimate. Uh, like, it's so much more than it's more than naked. Do you know what I mean? It's that you're seeing the the essence or whatever, or at least that's what I felt at the time, but as I think about it more, by this process, they think of it as that the soul has already moved on, and this is just the earthly traces that were holding us back. Um, but anyway, we started by the feet, and this was a little weird because a number of years ago, my father-in-law had broken his ankle or foot, and there had been a piece of metal inserted in to set the bone, and it's just there, this piece of metal, which I think said like made in Japan, and it's it didn't burn up because it was metal. Um, so well, I don't Daniel, that's a very good question. Why chopsticks? I mean, I'm using the word chopstick as identifying sticks used for picking up things. I'm guessing there's a different word. I don't think they referred to them as the Japanese word hashi, meaning chopsticks. I'm sure there was another word, but I didn't think to ask at the time. So I'm describing them as chopsticks through a Western point of view, but they are evocative of chopsticks, which is again and the chopsticks are also evocative of the incense, which is I think why that thing is taboo. But they would not. I don't. The thing that I was using stylistically probably wouldn't be confused with chopsticks. They were larger and wider. Um, but that's a great question. So how are we supposed to do it is we're supposed to put in the bones from the feet first, and then the legs, and then the and and we're supposed to put them in kind of in order as much as we can because we believe we don't want to put the body in upside down. It's more respectful. So the head bones are some of the last. And apparently it's not the Adam's apple itself, but it's a bone around that area. I'm sorry. I have to look up what it was, but it's considered one of the most important in this ceremony. Maybe because it doesn't burn up exactly. I'm sorry. I didn't look up before. I didn't prepare for this, but yeah, there's a bone there's some bone in the neck that's supposed to be put in at a certain time. And so we did that. Of course, you don't get all the bone. My daughter asked a very good question. She's like, "What do they do with the stuff that didn't go in the jar?" And I'm like, and I told her, "I'm sure they do something very respectful with it because this place has been nothing but mad respectful the whole time." But I had no idea. Um, but anyway, that we filled up the jar, and now you were getting to the fact that it's crushed bones, and it is because when we were putting them in, we were pretty much putting them in as very bone-shaped pieces of ash. But they had basically a mortar and the thing that you crush spices with or something. Like there's the bowl and there's also the heavier um um yeah, I think it is the pestle. And they had one that was made out of wood and they were pushing down the bone. And for me, this was one of the most surreal parts of the whole thing because I'm hearing it, hearing the crushing because they are basically, yeah, pulverizing, making into powder right there. And of course they do that everywhere in a cremation process. Of course they do, but you just don't you're not part of it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, in a way, this feels so much more real than any funeral I've ever been to. I mean, the result is the same, obviously, but you're part of it, and I was not looking forward to this part because I knew it was coming because I've studied a lot of about Japan, and I was worried that it would be grotesque and morbid and gross and traumatizing. And maybe it is a little bit because again, I'm still thinking about it. I'm really still thinking about it, but at the same time, I was deeply moved because, as I said, it felt incredibly intimate. It's more than like seeing someone naked. I mean, you're seeing someone that is all they are, and we are in a physical way ending the whole thing. I mean, we're involved. Um, and again, I don't think there's a lot of American people who've ever been witness to something like this. Um, and I felt very close to my family, and fortunate that I had been so accepted by them to be able to just a moment to be able to take part in such a important, sacred ceremony. Um, I was moved, really, really touched. So, getting back to your question earlier about whether I felt accepted in Japan, I mean, I've always felt a bit sidelined because I don't speak the language well enough to be fluent or anything like that, and I'm always seen as, or maybe perceive myself as an outsider. But I felt very accepted, and I don't mean to make this all about me. This is not about me, but I feel changed by the experience. I think I think it's one of the turning points of how I see death, life, myself. I don't know. And again, the whole process felt so much more natural. You say that phrase ashes to ashes, dust to dust, but like this is it. You know, um and then um the ashes were all put in this jar basically, and the lid was put on the jar. And then it's put into a wooden box, and the wooden box is tied with, my guess is a silk furoshiki, kind of like a cloth. It's white. White is the color. White and black are obviously symbolic of death. The envelopes that you give funeral money in are white envelopes tied with a black ribbon. Um, but that was presented to the family along with a framed photo of him, a very nice photo. So one of the best photos I've seen of him because he was smiling. They often use very serious photos, but they used a picture of him smiling, which I think was good. And a little wooden, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a little plaque. I mean, if you've watched anime, you've probably seen one. It's got like the name written in kanji down, and it's on wood on a little base. And that is the thing that you're gonna take to your, family altar and you're gonna keep there. It's kind of, I guess, the soul kind of passes into it or something like that. Um, I don't know if they did this, but I was reading that in a lot of places, you get a different name after you die. You have, like, a death name, and the idea is that, like, um because if you have a new name in death, you won't try to hang on to your earthly place, something like that. But I don't know if they did that for him, but yeah, there's like a little name plaque, and so those are the three objects. But you know, when we left the funeral hall, they had me carry his remains. Again, like, I felt like I felt part of something, some unit that even though I've been married into this family for 15 years, I don't know, it's just that really, like, cemented the whole experience. Now those remains are gonna be brought, they're gonna be brought to my mother-in-law's house where they will remain for 50 days. And in that time, people are gonna come and they're gonna visit and they're gonna say prayers, there. Um, and then, after 50 days, they're going to be brought to the cemetery, and they're trying to decide right now if it's gonna be in their family altar or if they're gonna start a new family, grave, or if they're gonna start a new one because it's almost apparently, it's the ancient one that they have is almost full. Um, so Oh, Jody, sorry, I'm gonna read this. "I definitely don't wanna make this about me, but I feel I need to say this. I've been having some serious existential dread lately, some deeply strong feelings about my own mortality." Yeah. I just wanna say thank you for sharing this. It's honestly helped me in my own internal struggling. Really? Then this was all worth it. Jody, thank you. That's such a nice thing to say. I'm kind of feeling guilty of going through all this. Um, so, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. Um, Cheesemeister, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Cheese is another guy who's been here a long time. And yeah. Um, maybe we'll talk sometime because yeah, maybe you've been through the same thing. But yeah, it's first time for me here. So um yeah. Did you get to spend much time with your father-in-law since you've been there so long, I imagine? I mean, he was a quiet man, and we talked a little bit about baseball sometimes, but as I said, kind of shortly after I moved to Japan, he had a stroke, so it was harder. It was definitely harder because my Japanese is already not that good, and his words kind of started slurring a bit. So communication was a lot harder for us after that point. But I think we got along pretty well. Um, when I was dating and like he was but we were not as close as I would have liked to be. When But I'm very close with my mother-in-law. So when she inevitably passes, it's going to be gonna be a lot, more intense. Um, but I'll tell you, everything was intensely respectful, but there was one moment that that felt a little bit surreal. When we were taking the ashes, um, and loading them to the car to take them to my mother-in-law's house, we put them in the niece's car, and in order to put them there, she just had to like, was clearing out the back seat of the car. She was moving some stuffed animals to the front of the car, some plushies and things like that, and I was just like, "You gotta move the plushies to make room for grandpa." Like, but for me, it seemed strange, but I don't know. I mean, how else you gonna do it, obviously, but it was like, it'd been so formal and respectful up to there, but in the end, it's just like, throw it in the back of the car. It's very, yeah, it was surreal. Jody, thank you. Thank you for your comments. I'll read it. All the things you're talking about makes me understand that things will go on even when I'm gone. For my family, for my kids, knowing that it's a continuum really helps. To get back to your I mean, yeah, totally. And to get back to an earlier question that was asked, what do I want after I pass away? If my kids are comfortable with it, maybe I want this. Because as I said, there was something beautiful about it. I wouldn't mind going in a blaze of glory surrounded by flowers. There's a lot, that, you know, and I don't know if I want to be pumped full of formaldehyde or whatever they use in the embalming you know what I mean? And maybe because the funeral has to be so quick, you know, you you don't prolong the fake. You know what I mean? I don't know. Uh, I don't know. Maybe that's the way I wanna go to, you know? But, like, I don't know if one should use the word beautiful when describing a funeral, but the process was sad and it was respectful, but there were parts of it that were just really beautiful. Um, yeah, I just, I'm still processing. Do you know what I mean? Because I had to go right back to work afterwards, you know. It was, and we were so busy for making up of work and also like, there's banking that has to happen, there's documents that have to be signed. Mostly with my wife, but like it's it's something kind of in the back of my mind that I'm still kind of figuring out. I didn't want to really talk too much about it with my parents. My parents are in their 70s, and I don't know if they want to have this conversation. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Um, but, um, this is kind of the first time I've really talked this through, so I wanna thank everybody here for listening and commenting and, just being so awesome, like, truly awesome. I mean, for being for being my friends, thank you. I really appreciate that, and, I'm gonna kinda wrap this up now, but if there's any questions anybody has, before we get on to some games, if you still feel like it, I got some games behind me, but if you have anything, um, um, yeah, just write it out, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. I hope you found it somewhat interesting because it is interesting. It is actually really interesting. Yeah. Okay. Switching over. Video games. Any new Famicom games in your collection? Huh. My personal collection. Have I added anything recently? I don't think so much. I haven't been shopping much lately. I think the newest one that I've added to my permanent collection that I'm proud of is Splatterhouse Wampaku Graffiti. I've had this loose for a long time, but I finally got a boxed copy, so that's a fun one. Yeesha. Okay, PC Engine recommendations. Do you like pinball? I've been playing a lot of like Demon's Crush and Devil Crush. Those are fun. Tu- 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 tu. Yeah, whatever I want to play. Any new pickups I'm not proud of? I mean, did you guys watch the Tetris movie? Did you guys watch the Tetris movie? I I know it's not super historically accurate, but I was very entertained by it. Um, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. No, I haven't watched Iruku on Laserdisc yet. Tetris require a new subscription. Yeah, well, I geez, you don't have any Apple devices? A lot of those come with like 3 free months or whatever. I'm gonna see the Mario movie later today. Mario movie hasn't come to Japan yet, and it's gonna come to the theater in my town, but it's only gonna come Japanese dubbed. And if that's the only way I can see it, I'll watch it Japanese dubbed. That's fine. It should, I mean, the plot should be simple enough, but like I feel I'll miss out on some subtle stuff. But I'm gonna take my kids to see it, definitely one way or the other. But I'm hoping that like one of the bigger cities around has the option for a Japanese subtitled English dubbed version. Sometimes with the bigger movies, they do. I watched Incredibles, um, the first Incredibles movie a long time ago in English. So I'm hoping a 3-year-old iPhone 11. Yeah, probably beyond the time. Yeah. Which startup sequence is better, the Japanese setting or the North American? Japanese one, definitely. It's a whom. Have you had the chances tomorrow? Yeah, no, but yeah, it hasn't come here yet. It's coming like in 2 weeks. I'll probably go see it. I forget the name of the game. So the ones on the TurboGrafx system look interesting. Yeah, I don't have the TurboGrafx hooked up today, but I'll do a stream with TurboGrafx maybe next time. Well, not Turbo. Well, maybe TurboGrafx. I got a TurboGrafx, but I only have a couple games for that. PC Engine, but yeah, Demon's Crush and Devil Crusher, super fun. Um, You're taking the family to see Super Mario Brothers 3 in 3D subtitled. Oh man, I gotta find a place. So you've, I mean, you're in a bigger city than I am, but obviously you found a place to find it. But I hope I can. How many times has Howard Lincoln and Yamauchi ever been portrayed? Not many. Apple TV is worth it for Ted. Schmigadoon. Oh my goodness, Schmigadoon is so funny. The new season of Schmicago is just fantastic. Fantastic. But yeah, get it, get like that free month or pay for 1 month of Apple TV and just like watch all the best stuff. Schmigadoon is great. The Tetris movie, Ted Lasso. Um, what else do I watch? Severance. Watch Severance. Severance is fantastic. Yeah, I'd be willing to go as far as like Hakata to go see the Mario movie if that's where it's playing. But I don't think I can go anywhere farther than that. That there's money involved. Here's a controversial opinion. I prefer English dubs over subs. Let's see how many people. No problem. Depends on the thing. Like I think it also depends on what you watched first. Like to this day, I still I still will choose to watch Ranma one half dubbed rather than subtitled, just because that's what I watched it first, and that's where it clicks for me. And My Neighbor Totoro, I like to watch the Fox dub more than the Disney dub, and I like both of them better than the sub. It's just, but if I saw a movie, but I saw Sentu Chihiro no Kamikakushi, Spirited Away first in Japanese, and so the dub seems strange to me. So you know, yes, Severance is a fantastic show. Yeah. Almost 30 and grew up with Toonami. Yep, yeah. No, that make that I think it always, it's kind of like Doctor Who. Your favorite doctor is like the first doctor you see or whatever. Not always, but or the first one you really clicked with. Um cool. So I got some games. Do you want to see some disk system stuff, or I got a bunch of cartridges that I'm going to list on my store, and I just want to test. I just want to test, make sure they're working out okay. So some of these you may have seen already. We got Binary Land, uh, Donkey Kong 3, Mother, Super Mario USA, Buget Honey. Have you played Chained Echoes? No. What is it? Mario Brothers. Fine. Ed. No, sorry. Seems I don't have any copies of Golf. Okay. Let's see. Rockman 5, Star Force, Devil World, Goonies, Image Fight. Ooh. Castlevania 3, which I'm not good at, but I've been told people enjoy watching me fail at things, so that's fine. Boku Dracula Kun, um, Space Invaders, Tetris, the one as seen in the movie Tetris. Why so many bangers in one pile? Because these are the games that have sold from my shop, so they're the ones that I restock. Because yeah, let's see, Goonies, Rock Band 1, Rock Band 4, DuckTales, Clue Land, Final Fantasy 3. Tetris Flash, Rockman 2, and did I already have a Donkey Kong? I don't remember. Dracula, Rockman. Okay, Kid Dracula for sure. Okay, let's put that on the first. Let's put that on the pile to play. Okay, Castlevania 3 for Famicom. Oh yeah, yeah, it's great too because it's got the extra sound chips built in. So it's got Much better, in my opinion, better music than the American version. Did I ever read the Mask comics? No, I haven't. I just modded Gargoyles Quest 2 for photosensitivity. Oh. Okay. So I'm going to pick up a copy of Dracula soon. Maybe this will finally be my copy. Maybe it's my last one. Well, I mean, I got one for my personal collection, but it's my last one for sale because the prices have gone up like nuts. Like the exchange rate fluctuated, and for a while it was really cheap to buy games because American dollars bought you more stuff, but they adjusted and like like it's like 30% more now than when I bought this. So, but I'll sell it. I'll sell it based on the price I paid for it. I don't see the games as a a total investment thing. Um okay, so the two Castlevanias, anything else from those list? I've got disc games too. I can start naming. Just a minute. Can I pay you for that copy of Anarchy Reigns you listed a few weeks ago? Yeah, sure, sure. I got 2 copies of it, so don't worry. Don't worry if it sells. Just send me a message about it later. I removed the flashing effects. Oh, good. The disc system version of Super Mario Brothers 1. It is a tiny bit different. The Minus World is handled differently. I think Sean was doing a video about that, or did a video about that. But other than that, it's pretty much exactly the same game. Got a bunch of disk system stuff here. Let's see. Yeah, M Rose, don't worry about it. If you are you on the Discord? Are you in the Discord right now? If you are, just send me a message and I won't list this. I'll just hold it for you. All right. What do we got here? We got Super Mario 2 volleyball. Oh, Trey, it's your lucky day. It's your lucky day. Look what I got. I got golf. How many Rockmans, Mega Mans you have in your collection? I have all the Famicom ones, all the Super Famicom ones. I don't have Rockman 8 in any form right now. I don't think. No, I don't. But I have the Saturn version of X4. And I have Rockman 11. I got 2 of the Game Boy ones. I don't have all Mega Man, but I got quite a few. I got quite a few. I'm not on the Discord. Here, let me send you a link to the Discord. Just a second. Let's see. Am I humming the theme from Garfield and Friends? And if so, why not? Okay. Here we go. That's the Discord for anybody who wants in. Just pop on in. You can always send me a message through there. Okay, Rockman 2 goes on the pile. Sure. Okay. Jody, thank you so much for sticking around. And your words that what I was saying had any impact makes me very happy. So thank you very much. I appreciate you, and good luck with the things you're figuring out. And if you ever want to talk, just let me know. Okay. Okay. Now the Discord. Okay. Okay. What do I got? This is Jackal, basically. It's called Final Commando, and it was released as a cartridge game in the US called Jackal, which is one of my favorite games. But this one is different, dealing with how it dealt with the memory on the Famicom disk system. It's similar. It's very similar, but it is different enough that I would consider them almost two different games. Okay. Flashback scene where Baby Luigi gets to the castle. Not. Oh, really? That would make sense. There's so many deep cuts in the Mario movie. Just so many deep cuts. Jody, have a great night. We got Doki Doki Panic. I think I played it last time, though, that I had the twin hooked up, so maybe that's not that interesting. But we could always compare it to Mario USA. I think we did that last time too. I think we compared it to Mario USA, but I don't know if we can do it again. Let's see what else I got here. Othello, that's Twin B. Twin B is fun. So all these are going to go up on the site. Here's another golf game. Ooh. Let's see. Super Load Runner. Super Load Runners. Kind of fun. What else I got here? Baseball. That's not that interesting. Galaxy Odyssey, which is kind of like a shooter by Square. No, wait, maybe this one isn't by Square. No, this is sorry, that's from Imagineer. We got 3D Hot Rally, the game that I will consider a precursor to Mario Kart. And let's see. I just got a bunch of stuff. They just pull stuff randomly too, I suppose. Bunch of Gundam stuff. Ultraman. Pro Wrestling. Unknown. Falcion, like that one. Pat Labor. Okay, anyway. Anything jumping out at you guys? Gundam. You have this Gundam game, though. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, you don't. But it's one of the Scramble Wars games. Like, I think you have some of the cartridge games of, like, the later ones, yeah. Try out the random disc? Yeah, we can try out the random. Should we try out the random disc? Random disc? Okay. All right. Our first game today will be random disc. Just a moment. I gotta make space for. Just put the games to be tested behind my head. Maybe not flowers. Maybe when I'm buried, I want to be surrounded by Famicom cartridges. That maybe not. Maybe burning plastic is not exactly the. Nothing like kicking it off with a disc read error. I know there's the stereotype, but I've actually, in my experience, found not that many games that didn't work or whatever. And most of them that didn't work looked like they wouldn't work because they were in bad condition. It's a real testament to how long these magnetic media are holding out. Anyway. Oh. Yeah, turn the TV on first. That would be helpful. Okay, there we go. Okay. Turning. Okay. Now, notice if you've been playing with just a regular Famicom disk system, This will say Nintendo here. But what's interesting is the Sharp Twin Famicom one doesn't. It says Famicom, which I always thought was interesting. Okay, random disc time. Come on. Nice game, nice game. No whammies, no whammies. All right. What could it be? What's in the box? Yep, this is a Twin Famicom. Nice. Nice. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, Bubble Bobble. Okay, and this one has actual save and continue that the cartridge one didn't. Dang it! What were you hoping, Burik and Kirby? What game were you hoping for? Or were you hoping for disc error? Because I'm sure we'll come across a disc error. Don't worry, that'll happen later. One player, you were already dead. Totally. Oh my gosh, but my brother and I had so. Well, it's because you're not here to be my player too. You know, Mark, it's easier to travel now. You could come here, be my player too. I had this on the Apple II as well. Uh-oh, he's upset now. I used to get terrified by the whales in this game. If you time it right, you can just flip them with your. You don't have to actually. Oh, and dead. Ooh, martinis. I wonder if that was in the US version. Oh, how do I get them? Oh, well. I don't. That's what happens. Great game. Better with two players. All right. Bubble Bobble was in the disc. I was expecting Wrecking Crew to call back for the classic episode. Yeah, that would be fun. I remember hearing this song on those. Now, interesting. Bubble Bobble in Japan was only on disk system for the Famicom. It didn't get a cartridge release in Japan, and of course it did in the United States. I think I have a copy here. It was one of my favorite childhood games. My brother and I used to play that all the time. We got fairly far in it, but anyway, but the disk system version is nice because you can actually save and you can continue, and it makes it a little more completable, I think. Oh, the US version is on the NES Classic Edition? Huh. I blame my friend for getting me hooked on. It's really sad that they haven't released many Bubble Bobble games. I mean, the spin-off, it's one of those games where the spin-off went on way farther than the original game. Puyo Puyo is another example of that, where the spin-off series, the puzzle game, really overshadowed the original series. I played Bubble Bobble 2, and then there was Rainbow Islands, which was kind of supposed to be kind of Bubble Bobble 2, but, and all that kinda stuff, yeah. I don't get the obsession over Puzzle Bobble. Totally, totally. It's fine. It's a fine game, but it's not like I don't consider it like S or A rank, um, puzzle game, you know? Like, I would take a lot of games over Puzzle Bobble. There's a new one on the Switch, I keep seeing at Walmart for 40. Is it a Puzzle Bobble game or is it a Bubble Bobble game? I think there was one on DS too. Bubble Bobble for Friends? I wonder if it's just a it might just be an enhanced graphics port, a lot of those things are. I don't know, I'll have to look into it, but when I was a kid, I always thought, "Why do they keep making these bust a move games?" Which is what they call Puzzle Bobble, why don't they make more of the platform games? Because those were fantastic, but whatever. Alright, so, mystery disc, anybody need it? Because I'm not gonna be able to sell it for much on the site without a label, so, um, yeah, let me know if any of you need it. It's a good game. Shot. Okay, what should we play now? Do. Reluctant Hero, you want it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, just send me a message about it later. But we just I feel bad because we just sent your box now. So but if we want to start a new one, I'll gladly put that one aside for you. No, Satoshi, I didn't think I was gonna stream either, actually. So don't feel bad about it. I only announced it about 30 minutes before I went on. I wasn't going to, but I don't know. I think I just needed to talk. Yeah. Let's play the disc version of Super Mario 1. I mean, I could, I guess. I think I have. Sure. Yeah, got one. So, sure. Kind of an odd choice, but why not? Hmm. This is our way, Vink. As soon as one box ships, a new one begins. This the way. It's the circle of life. I gotta sing quietly because kids are sleeping. All right. Super Mario Brothers 1 for the disk system for some reason. I sent you a link on the Discord for the Puzzle Bobble game on Switch. Thank you, Tristan. I'll check that out later. Okay, guys. This will be a treat for you, something you've never seen before or have many times. This is today I have a friend from Bangladesh, and today I got to watch her play Super Mario Brothers for the first time because she started gaming during the PlayStation 2 generation. She's young, quite a bit younger. One of my coworkers, and during a break, pulled out uh, a Super Mario, the Game Boy Advance port, the one that's on the like red and white cartridge. Anyway, um, and she played it, and she didn't know what to do. Like even the simple things that we know, obviously, like that we scroll. You know what I mean? That that you have to go to the right, just like things that we consider just, she hasn't really played 2D games other than some of the new like 2D games. But it was actually the first time she ever even played a Mario game, and I don't know. She liked it. As you can see, this is super different from the cartridge version in that it's exactly the same. I don't think I play this. Oh my goodness! I was gonna say I don't play. I'm not even like really focusing on it. It's all kind of muscle memory. Oh, this is right now. That's what's going on with the Mario movie. Apparently, it just crossed $500 million in profit, and it hasn't even opened in Japan and Korea yet. My goodness, that movie. It's already one of the top 150 best grossing movies in the United States of all time, and it's a video game movie. That's saying a lot. Okay. I guess I haven't played this for a while. Anyway, that's Super Mario Brothers. Am I going to take my kids to see it? Definitely. Definitely. But I'm trying to find a place where we can watch it in English because I feel like that's the language it should be watched in. I don't know. Because I feel like some stuff's going to get lost in translation otherwise. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. But yeah, definitely going to take it. Definitely going to. But yeah, it's really interesting. I remember my parents playing the first Super Mario Brothers, and they just couldn't understand it. But I guess it's kind of like it's almost like a certain type of literacy. You know what I mean? Like if you don't experience it, it is something that kind of needs to be learned, I suppose. Can I play my personal favorite Famicom Disk System game? Huh. What is my favorite Famicom Disk System game? I'm not sure if I know what my favorite Famicom Disk System game is. I mean, if I'm just saying Famicom Disk System, I mean, obviously I love Legend of Zelda, but I'm not sure if. My favorite Famicom, favorite maybe exclusive game? Gosh, that's a difficult question. Electrician? That's a fun game. I don't know. But will your kids get the Super Mario Brothers Super Show reference? Probably not. Well, actually, my oldest might. We used to watch it. We used to watch it a little bit from YouTube. Yeah. My okay, one of your top three Famicom Disk System games. Gosh, I mean, I obviously love Castlevania. Let's see. What's a good one? I mean, the sad part is my personal collection is way back in the shelf because I don't expose it to light. I know I'm crazy. Um, but I'd have to dig this whole thing out to get to my personal games. What I have out right now is the ones I'm testing for the store, and I'm not sure if any of my. I love Otaki. I do love Otaki. Such an interesting game. Favorite Famicom Disk System game is Gyrus. That's a nice choice. Good music. That got that Tempest thing going for it. I like the Who Framed Roger Rabbit game for Famicom Disk System, which is a crazy castle game. It came out reskinned as I think Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle 2, 1. Sorry, I don't remember exactly, but that was a fun one. I'm not sure if it's my favorite, but it's a fun one. Doki Doki Panic's fantastic. Yeah. I don't know. Famicom Disk System's got a lot of fun ones. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna pop in a couple of these carts just because I gotta test some stuff. I'm gonna play a little Donkey Kong 3 because I remember loving this one as a kid and being able to be very decent at it, and then playing it again as an adult fairly recently and just absolutely sucking at it. Like I think maybe I've forgotten, because I remember when I was a kid, I remember I could beat the levels fairly easy. I just kept shooting Donkey Kong in the butt and avoiding the bugs, but, like, I don't know, I'm gonna let me play it. Anyway, it's time for the cartridge cleaning song. Okay. Yeah, it is a weird game. It's like, hey, okay, the first Donkey Kong, you're Mario and you're trying to save Pauline or whatever. Okay, the second one, Mario's the bad guy now. You're Donkey Kong Jr. trying to save your dad. Okay, interesting role reversal. And the third one, you're a guy who's not Mario at all, shooting Donkey Kong with bug spray in the butt to protect the flowers. Like, just yeah, it's such a weird. This is the cartridge cleaning song. I haven't done it for so long, but it's still good to get off this. Ugh. This is the cartridge cleaning song. A random guy named Stanley. That's what we can all aspire to be someday. A random guy named Stanley. Oh my god. It's almost 2 a.m. right now. Yeah, sorry, my story went on quite a while. Okay. All right. Did I turn the TV off? Yes, I did. Oh, I hear it. Do I see it? No. Oh. Needs a bit more cleaning. Whoa, it's really messed up. Actually, I'm going to try to play it like this. Let's do it. Oh my goodness. Take that. Oh, this is so messed up. Oh no, the worms. Leave my flowers alone. Oh. I mean, why would Donkey Kong even do that? Why would he just mess with the hives? I don't understand the lore of this game. No, you leave my flowers alone. You leave my flowers. Oh. You know, I'm going to play it not messed up. Okay. All right. Just a moment. Better. Still a little messed up. Okay. Just a moment. There we go. Now it looks beautiful. All right. Look at that. Look at them sharp graphics. Okay. You know, this is I think this might be the first Donkey Kong game I ever played. Like, I think I might have played this before the original Donkey Kong. Because this is the one the babysitter had. Maybe I bet I played the original Donkey Kong on arcade, or at least saw it. But this is definitely I played this one on Famicom before the other one. Okay, I should stop reading comments while I'm playing. Again, I remember being a lot better at this game. Well, did I win somehow? Leave my flowers alone, you creep. Oh, I gotta let them. Oh. Wait, why did I die? Oh no. Oh, because his rope went all the way down. Oh, it's Super Butt Rocket. Okay. No, what? Oh, come on. Boo. Okay, well, it works. I'll put that on the it works pile. Okay. Let's play that. Let's play that. Let's play that Castlevania. Castlevania 3. This is a good stream right now. This is the cartridge cleaning song. Don't kill sometime or something. Okay. Oh, it sounds so good. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Hold on, I'm going to start that over. You can hear those like extra FM synthesis instruments. It's really nice. Okay, I'm going to get started. This game sounds better than it has any right to sound. It's too bad I'm so terrible at it. Hope I find some wall meat. Definitely one of the best sounding games in the system. It's quite a looker too. I mean, graphically. And of course, they removed a lot of that iconography, Christian iconography, when they ported it. Beyond just having the sounds not be as good. Yeah. Easily one of the better games on the Famicom. I got a bone to pick with you. Is this a, can I walk? Okay. Reduce the heads. Oh. Oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, 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 no. Hey. Well, time to die. And dead. All right. This game is why I own a Famicom. The sound is so, oh, it's so good. The sad part is on the AV Famicom, the music is too loud. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Famicom is now 4 pulse wave channels, which lead to a lot of. Oh, okay. That's cool. But yeah, okay. There's that. All right, let's play something else. Let's play a game. I'm not going to show you what game I'm putting in. You're going to guess it from the music. Do I have idle get in? No, I don't think. Ooh, this cartridge is disgusting. Look at that. Look at that. Oof. That's why I clean them. I don't claim that I'm refurbishing things. I'm not DK oldies, but I do try to clean everything. This one's dirty though. This is going to be like a 6 Q-tip cartridge. Okay, what's the game? Okay, this one was too easy. This one was too easy. Yeah, it's very clearly DuckTales. Oh man. Oh, it's or Wanpaku Duck, because at the time this game came out in Japan, DuckTales hadn't been released yet. In like a localized version. So that's what they decided to call it. But then the second game in the series was just called DuckTales 2. I think I have. Do I have? Oh, it's in the back. But I have a copy of DuckTales 2 as well. But I never owned DuckTales 2 as a kid. So even though a lot of people say it's the better game of the two, I'll always have a much more nostalgic feelings for the first one. Wrong answers only. Oh, yeah, that'll be more fun. Let's do wrong answers only. Hold on. know if I even need to. There we go. Race cars, lasers, airplanes. It's a dark blur. Lights on a mist. Why's my? Oh, I've got rapid fire on my B button. Hold on. There we go. Just the whole idea of the pogo jump is kind of. Oh my goodness. Okay, my B button is sticking. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay, come on. There we go. I mean, who thought Scrooge McDuck's gonna attack with a pogo bounce? I mean, it's brilliant, really. Hey, still remember a few of the secrets. But anyway, it's DuckTales. It's a classic. And it's now tested. Okay. Okay, that's what the comments are saying. That was DuckTales. Come on, go ahead. Okay, it's Super Mario Galaxy Dead or Alive Extreme Feature. Metal Gear Solid. You should take your controller apart and clean the contact pads. Yes, I definitely should. Definitely should. All you need to do is run the contact pads over some isopropyl or heck, even just water. You know, I used to do it with my NES. I used to take them apart just for fun. Let's see, is that a standard screw? That's a fairly standard screw on there. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Clean it out. All right. That's tested. Was there something else you guys wanted to see? Or you want to guess some more music? Guess some more music. Okay. Wrong answers only. Here we go. The Guardian Legend. Nice. The Beatles, the video game. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, the official video game adaptation. Zelda 2. I can see Zelda 2-ish. I can see Zelda 2 opening screen in my mind. Evocative. Annoy Reggie the game. Oh man. You know, it's just amazing how Nintendo trolls after that robot chicken thing. Like they're aware of it. I mean, they voiced, they know how much it irritates fans that they don't release it. By it, of course, I mean the Beatles, the video game. All right. So obviously, I think that's enough hints. This game is definitely Father. Gotta fight a lamp real soon. Gonna fight a lamp. Time to fight a lamp. Gotta join Teddy's gang. You defeated a lamp. You win. This game has good music. It really does. Hanasu. I should probably do something about the electrical disturbance upstairs. Scary baby. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is an NSO right now. I like the first game in the series, but it does feel a little archaic compared to the second and third. That's obviously an earlier game, but okay, that's enough of that. You ever listen to the Moonriders Vink? No, but now I'm going to. There's some stuff I can listen to on YouTube. Okay. Next game. Shot. The soundtrack is legendary. Oh, Hip Tanaka. Yes. This is the cartridge cleaning song. Okay, Satoshi, you're going to get this one right away, probably. I mean, how's the weather? I'm wearing a t-shirt, so it's not too bad. Astro Boy. Good. Love it. correct answer is Canine and Company, the game. Game that begins with a storyline showing parts of not this game. Yeah. Okay. And as for the real answer, Tristan, so close. So close. Number 4. Number 4. Good game. Introduces the charge blast. Not bad. All right. Let's see. What should we do next? Let's do a little bit of a rarer one, I suppose. Okay. Almost. There we go. Tell me the game. Any guesses? Ah. It's hard to do the wrong guesses only when you're not really sure what the right guess is. Star Soldier. Very close. Reluctant Hero, you should know this one. Or are you doing the wrong guesses? Wrong guesses only. Hector 87. Ooh. Xerion. It's a game that I feel never really got its due. Not Macross. Nope. It's getting some. I've got a weird glitch going on this one. I wonder if it is the cartridge needs additional cleaning, or if it's something's messed up like my Rockman was. Actually, I'm going to show you this. Raid on Vink's house. Okay. All right. Game is actually Star Force, and I'm not sure if I didn't clean it well or not, but watch how it's glitching. This is kind of interesting. Okay, it looks fine right now, right? But look at that. This weird star field thing. Look at that. Yeah, it's glitching real interesting. So the background just keeps popping in and out. I've never come across this particular type of glitch before. You can, see some of the elements. Isn't that weird? Makes it kind of hard to play. Yeah. This is the name table. Oh, nice. Okay. This is the name table not being displayed correctly. Do you think I can clean my way out of this, or do you think this is going to be a bad card at this point? It's an interesting glitch. Oh. Yeah. You need to take a look at the PCB. Ugh. On that case. Yeah, I wonder. Sometimes the cleaning is enough, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I wouldn't sell the game like this because obviously that's not what you'd want to get. And that's the thing. You gotta test things beyond the title screen sometimes because the title screen looked totally normal, just like that Rockman card I had. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it's still glitching out the same way. Interesting. Mapper 1. Yeah. Yeah, it shouldn't be too complicated. Anyone with some know-how wanna see what's going on under the shell? I would not know how to do that. All right. Okay, wrong answers only. Here we go. It's possible it's a piece of crud in there. Yeah, that's very possible. I would literally suggest try shaking the cart. Eh? Little Nemo. Yeah. Oh, I love these wrong. I love the wrong answers. Little Nemo. Samba de Panic. Mappy. It's got to be Mappy. Oh, Mickey's Mousecapade. This podcast takes the bold step of not including the audience in the gameplay. Gimmick. I wish. I never beat this one. Less seizure inducing water. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Guys, we've been bamboozled. Oh, yes. Oh, I should probably sleep pretty soon. Is there anything else you guys wanted to see before I head out? I just realized it's almost 2:30 in the morning. Actually, let me try that Star Force again now that I've... Shake it off. Shake it off. If that works, I'm going to be really, really impressed. Nope, still glitching the same way. Interesting. Yeah, but if anybody wants to check it out under the hood, send me a message. I'll send that to you. All right, one more. Wrong answers only. Wrong answers only. Toki. I like it. Popeye. Ooh. Nice, 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 nice. Mary Poppins. Exxon, the game. King Kong 2. RoboCop. The Adventures of Vink and Sean Orange. Oh, yes. Seth Rogen's Great Adventures. Pong. All right. You were all right. The Toki one cracks me up. That cracks me up because it's already a fairly obscure monkey game, so I like that. I really appreciate that one. Did I know Toki got a full-blown remake on the Switch? What? No way. Toki? Why? I mean, it's fine, but... And it looks like a cartoon now? Okay. Like Cuphead style or like New Burger Time style? Or like New Boy and His Blob style? Sort of in between. Okay, I'll check it out. Metal Gear. Revenge of the 1930 Blues. Nice. Gravity starring Sandra Bullock. Oh man. Street Fighter 2010. Oh man. Break Hotel starring Blue Suede Shoes, the game. Thriller. Oh, Thriller Nights. And once again, you were all correct. Thriller Nights. Queen's Gambit, the video game. Oh. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Okay. This'll. All right. Fried green tomatoes. Color dinosaur. Mario is missing. Oh. You are all correct. Looney Tunes Adventure. Does anyone remember the movie Spaced Invaders? It was like a comedy sci-fi movie about a bunch of stupid aliens, and they're all like destroyed at the end by like a gopher bomb. No, Spaced Invaders. I never saw it, but it's on my. I saw it in the theater. I begged my parents to take me, but even as I was watching, I'm like, this is not that good of a movie, and I can't even imagine what my parents were thinking. I should ask them if they even remember it. But yeah, I probably came out around 1989, 1990. I don't know. Spaced Invaders. I'm sure they'll remake it. Let's see. So how's everyone else doing? Sorry, never asked you guys about your. Haven't seen you, most of you, for about a month. How you been doing? Gotta let you guys get some time in as well. Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Love and marriage, it's an institute you can't disparage. Ask the local gentry, and they will say it's elementary. Oh, the Futurama song. Theme song. Yeah, wrong guesses only. Uh, seems like you're going through a midlife crisis. Tristan, you are not old enough to be going through a midlife crisis unless your life expectancy is quite low. Oh dear. A giant tree fell down and almost hit my house. That's not good. Okay, wrong answers only. The Blues Brothers. Whose line is it anyway? The Lost Word of Cyndi Lauper. Jaws 4, The Revenge. Ghostbusters. Hamtaro, nice. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I get it. But in the same, I could say Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Oh, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Bubblegum Crisis. Yeah, I can see that. Citizen Kane. I'll give you a hint. It's clearly based off a movie about kicking rats in the face. Because that's what I'm currently doing in the game, is I'm kicking rats in the face. Kicking rats in the face. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oregon Tourism Edutainment. Oh. That 70s show. Oh. Do you remember that 80s show? The kind of spin-off. It lasted only a few episodes. I remember it being kind of funny. Space Jam. You are all correct. You are all correct. Well, that was a weird stream of pretty much not showing the games. That was fun, though. Thank you, guys. Whoa. A 3-hour stream. Holy cow. Really? I didn't realize it had been going on that long. Sorry. Jabbing, jabbing, jabbing. Anyway, thank you all for sticking around. I hopefully will be streaming again fairly soon. And I had some requests for PC Engine the next time. So I've got, what do I got? I got confused. That's what I got. Where's my system? Yeah. I got the Duo here, so I will try some games. Do I have a Retron 5? I do. Got fuel for the PC Engine. So yeah, we'll do all that fun stuff. I forgot to finish my soda. Oh, here's a question for you guys. I picked up all 3 of the Switch Persona games. Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royale. What should I play? does it matter to do them sequentially at all? I don't have a ton of free time. Digitally, well, yeah, 3 and 4 are digital because there is no physical of them. But if there is, I'll rebuy it. And Persona 5 I've got physically. Persona 5 is your recommendation? I know that's the thing. I've asked this question to several different people, and everybody gives me a different answer. Some people are like, "Don't skip, play 3, 4, 5, and there'll be little something connects or whatever." And some people are like, "5 was garbage. The series peaked at 4." And other people are like, "No, just play the newest one." So I don't know. Hmm, P4, still need to finish 4. Go with P4 Golden first. I mean, they're all really long games. Oh, Daniel, welcome back. Oh, 4 does have small connections to 3, but you don't need to play 3 by any means. But Persona 3 Portable, the Switch version, did they restore any of that? I know it was a compromised port. They removed some comments from some things from Fez. Is it Fez was the remake? I have it on PlayStation 3 as well, but I know they added some stuff to the PSP port and took some stuff out. So start an order. I know start an order or you will never know. Ugh. And of course now I kind of want to play. Am I saying it right? Altair Riza, Iltir. Oh my goodness. I need a phonetic spelling of that one. Because thanks to our fantastic reluctant hero, not all heroes wear capes. I have number 2 and number 3 on the way to me pretty soon. So I haven't beat the first one, and I mean, yeah, I want to save lives. So um Switch is just an upscale PSP conversion. Yeah, I heard that they didn't even that they used the compressed music from the PSP one, even on like the PlayStation 4, um, PlayStation 4 and 5 ports where space would be no problem. But yeah, I'm waiting for you on that game. Yeah. Oh, there's just too many games. There's just too many games. And then Zelda's gonna come out soon, and Pikmin 4, and just a million things coming out. Persona 3 Fez on PS2 is how you play Persona 3. Yeah? Because some people have told me that the extra protagonist adds a lot. So I don't know. That's the problem. Also, I've got one friend at work who told me don't play Persona 5 Golden until after you've played Persona 5. I mean, sorry, don't play Persona 5 Royale until after you've played Persona 5. But that seems like I'm not doing that. That's not happening. But they're like, but then you can see all the stuff they changed, and I'm like, oh, I don't have the time for that. I don't have the time for that. You don't need to play Neptunia on the Vita. Yeah. Atelier, really? Atelier. Cool. Honestly, been a little disappointed with the Zelda pre-order bonuses I'm thinking of getting from Walmart for the scroll. Yeah, there's a lot of different pre-order bonuses. I don't know. I didn't pre-order it this time, but should I? I mean, it's going to be the game everybody's talking about, so I'm probably going to want to play it soon after launch. I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather play Path. Well, you know what? I have Persona 3 Fez. Is it supposed to be Fez? FES? I don't know. I've got it. I've got the PlayStation 2 version. Um, so I guess I could play that. I've also got Persona 4 on PlayStation 2. Oh, but of all the personas, I strongly recommend Persona 4. Okay, Satoshi, why do you recommend Persona 4 over Persona 5? Everybody make your case. Persona 4 is easier. You know what? I like that. I like easier. Easier sounds good. Persona 4 is more likable characters. Okay, now you're speaking. Now you're speaking my language. It's easier to play in smaller okay. I think I'm sold right now. I think I'm sold. Maybe I'll even play it on the Vita. Maybe I'll even play it on the Vita just for you, Satoshi. I suppose the non-3 games have less shooting in the head. That's true. That's true. Again, I'm with Satoshi. Persona 4 Golden is an amazing cast and story. They both have astounding music, but I don't know. I like PlayStation. I like Persona 4's fighting and story. Oh, I don't. I think I can. I think I can live without the Persona spin-offs. You're gonna pick up waifu in Persona 4 Golden. Go with Yukiko. She's the best girl. Okay. Persona 4 takes place in a rural Japanese town. Does it? I thought it was like Tokyo. I thought it was like I don't know. Persona 4 has an excellent story, soundtrack, and art direction. I like how it uses new players. Mm, Tokyo's okay. I might be getting them confused. I'm not gonna climb right now. Maybe I will play it on Vita just to shake things up. I don't know. Because lately I've been getting less Switch time since the kids have been getting like Sarah's playing Xenoblade 3 right now. She's really digging that. Anna's playing Splatoon. She's super into Splatoon 3. And the two youngest, they're Kirby heads. They're just Kirby heads. Persona 4 Golden is one of the best games I've ever played. I know. I've asked this question a lot of times, and there's no consensus answer I get. Don't influence his waifu choices. That's right. That's right. Oh, we will need to buy all the things. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just wonder. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, should I get one of the OLED models, but like it's gonna happen. Like the minute I buy one, they're gonna announce Switch 2. They're like, yeah. Everything, everywhere, all at waifu. The only correct waifu choices, all of them, all at once. Oh, oh man, now I'm more confused. Oh, someone's emailing me about requests. Puyo Puyo Fever for the Dreamcast. Yeah, I can get it. Thing is, when when people request stuff, and I can get pretty much anything, but like, I think people often like they request something they've seen in a YouTube video, and they're like, "Oh, this should be cheap," but like, it's like not. I mean, people like saying like, "Can you get me Ill Bleed?" And I'm like, "Yes," but like, do you want to pay $600? You know, I can get mostly anything, but yeah. Uh, but I'll check around. You know, sometimes you can find a deal. I will influence his Persona 5 waifu choice. Makoto is the best girl in that game. Persona 4 game defeated was one of the best fits the platform for sure. You know, I own Persona 4 3 times. I've got it on PlayStation 2. No, 4 times. I've got it on PlayStation 2 twice, one of them in Japanese, one of them in English. I've got the Vita version, and now I've got the Switch version. And yet I've never played past like the first 10 minutes, which is ridiculous because when I'm watching those the opening scene, I'm like, this music is great. This looks like a super fun game. This and then for some reason I always put it down and you know that meme that you see on Twitter all the time of the guy walking with his girlfriend and then the girl with the red dress walks by. The girl in the red dress is any new game at all. And I'm just like, yeah. Ugh. Get a copy of Gimmick at hard off for 500 yen. You know, I gotta say, a lot of those videos I think are I mean, I'm not sure, but like some of those like amazing find videos, I've had amazing finds too, but like some of them look so fake. I didn't see this Gimmick one, but I saw one where someone was like, "I just bought a random bag of games at a yard sale. Let's open it up and see what's in there." And it's like the copy of Chrono Trigger in there and a copy of Earthbound in the same bag. I paid $10 for this game, and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it! I can't believe you." I who even if you checked it out before you bought it, if you even bought it at a garage sale, which you didn't. You just put some games in a bag. It's just meh, whatever. Salaryman is still that's me. Okay. Oh, it's definitely for views, but I also hate the obviously fake cleaning videos. Like I found this Game Boy Advance that had been buried in mud for 8 years. Let me clean it off. Oh, it works. I'm just gonna dunk all the chips and things in this water and scrape the dirt off, and then oh, it works again. I hate those. Yeah. Final Fantasy 2. Well, yeah, six. I mean, my brother bought a copy of Earthbound for 10 bucks, but that's when they were, like, clearancing at KB Toys because the game was a flop when it came out to probably due to the advertising campaign that was like the slogan was, "This game stinks." So, like, he bought and I remember he was like, "Should I pick up a copy for you too?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'll just play yours." So I'm like now it was the big box version too. Oh my god. Regret. Yep. Somehow like stuff from that a few years ago. This looks like yep, yep, yep. Oh yeah. Tinkering YouTube channel. I haven't really watched that one, but yeah, it's posted in the general chat. Oh, okay. A guy got gimmick and GameCube component share. I mean, it might have been possible like a long time ago. I used to find some really good deals at like book offs because they just had these bins where they just put everything old because they had no idea what it was worth. So they had like a bin that was like 350 yen. And some of the games in there were like baseball and stuff that aren't even worth that much. And then there was also some good stuff mixed in because they just had no idea. They had no idea what it was. But these days with Medukari and eBay, and all that stuff, they know. They have a better idea of what things are worth, so it's much rarer to get, like, a crazy deal. It still happens from time to time, but, you know, eh, eh, I mean, yeah, who knows? I got a copy of Back to the Future 2 on the Super Famicom about 10 years ago for like 500 yen. And that's like an $80 game. Even then it was very valuable and I picked it up right away. But like I haven't seen deals like that in a long time. Do. I do love a talking Famicom system. Oh, remind me of Chan, that meme, that guy. Cash keys to a car and a six pack of cold beer and N64 inside the network port of the game. But yep, yep. Oh, you know what I need? If anybody finds one real cheap, and again, don't go looking for this, but, like, I realized I don't have a copy of NES Super Mario Brothers 3. It's not I mean, it's not like I need one. The Famicom one is pretty exactly the same, and I have, like, 6 or 7 copies of that, but I don't know, just because I'm kinda trying to collect some of the NES games I had when I was a kid or that my friends had that I borrowed a lot. So if anybody's got, like, a copy just hanging around or you see one real quick, real cheap, um yeah, that that would be neat. The problem is the shipping is so expensive. Just sending a one cartridge was so incredibly expensive, so, um, yeah, I don't know. Oh, reluctant hero, when the conversation catches up, you're sending me a package soon. Do you think you could find a Super Mario 3 to put in there? I mean, obviously, I'd pay for it, but, like, if you c I mean, what was the other really common game that I was looking for that I wanted to get? Just for nostalgia's sake. Is original Double Dragon expensive these days? It was such a common game, and it used to be really cheap. Did that become expensive? Yeah, NES Mario 3. I'll send for the cost of shipping if Oh gosh, you guys are so nice. Again, it's no rush. I'm not it's not something I need, but I thought I had one and I don't. If that makes sense, it's like it's such a common game. I thought I just had one here, um then again, I don't know because games that I thought were super cheap have become expensive now. So for all I know, Mario 3 is $500 these days. Double Dragon 1 goes for about $15 USD. So that's not too bad. I might be willing to pay that. I don't know. I think when you get down to it, it's those nostalgic games that you remember that um yeah, I thought I needed a copy of NES Tetris, but I found out that I do actually have one. So, because for a while I was looking for that because the Japanese version of Tetris is actually quite different from the NES one. Um, Reluctant here. Let me think about that overnight, and I'll let you know tomorrow. But yeah, do I have a Tengen Tetris? No, I don't. No, I don't. I rented it. I rented it once, and it was really weird because the video rental store, someone there knew what it was worth because they put a sticker on it that said, "If you don't return this, it's $250." And this was, back at the time, and I was like, "Wow, they know what it's worth." That was really interesting. One of my best friends was auctioned for a CIB Super Mario Brothers 3 for $20. Oh, nice. Nice. Send me a list of what you're looking for. Is is actually I think I do I have a Star Tropics? I've never played Star Tropics. But I always wanted to when it came out. I remember the ads for it, and it looked so fun, but I never actually played it. I guess I could play it on Nintendo Switch Online, but, like, is that an expen that's probably an expensive game these days. Like, any game that I wanna play, I think is has somehow become an expensive game. I was so surprised that things like Zelda and Final Fantasy VII are so expensive because they're, like, some of the most common games ever made for the system. No, don't worry, Peter B. Oh, Star Tropics is still cheap? Ooh. It just strikes me as a game that would be very expensive. I'm guessing Star Tropics 2, because it was such a late release, is quite expensive, but I'm guessing Crystallis is expensive. That's a game my friend had that I always that I borrowed a couple times, but I never beat, but I loved it. I loved that game. I bet that one's quite expensive though, because it's an SNK game that kind of didn't become a classic until later, so it probably didn't get a huge print run. Yeah, Crystallis. Star Trek X2 is cheap too? Really? Oh my gosh, I mean, I don't need to collect NES games. I really don't at this point in my life, but there's a yeah, Crystallis is around 50. Actually, that's cheaper than I thought. I was thinking it'd be closer to like 100 these days. Again, I don't need it. I don't need it at all. But it hits that nostalgia bone. You know what I mean? Like you just I think the older I get, the more I just want to play the games that made me happy when I was younger, you know. No, Crystallis wasn't a late era NES game, but it was not a game that really got much hype at the time. So I don't think that many came out. Do I plan on putting some laser discs on the shop again? Not right now because shipping's so weird lately that I can't find a way. Like the last few laser discs I sold, I lost money on. Like I actually lost money on the whole sale because the laser disc, the size didn't fit. So I had to put it in a larger box and I actually lost money. Um, yeah, Godslayer and Famicom I've got, but I want the US version. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, Tristan, if you are interested in some lasers, I can show you what I have, and I've got a lot of doubles, and I need to get rid of them because I'm running out of space. Um, and I can show you I can show you what I've got, and we can work something out if you're okay with like C-mail or something. They're not that expensive to ship. But yeah, I've got but I'm probably not gonna put any up on the store because oh, Yamato shipping has gone up by about 25%. It's yeah. Um, the exchange rate though right now is in my favor quite a bit. So the money I charge for um right now on my site just almost covers it. Like it covers it, but like after the cost of buying the box and the packing stuff. Doesn't quite cover it, but like the games inside make up for the money lost in shipping. But if the exchange rate fluctuates down too much, I'm gonna have to raise my shipping cost, which really sucks. Because I shipped out like um after I was catching up after the funeral, I shipped out like 8 packages and I lost, yeah, about I lo I paid almost $100 more than I had planned to spend that day, and it's like and that was a little shocking, but the thing is, again, I don't wanna change my prices because already I think the prices for shipping is a big barrier for people buying things from Japan, so I as long as I can, I feel if the exchange rate right now is like a dollar is like 131 yen or something like that. And I think as long as it stays above 120 yen to the dollar, I can continue keeping it at this shipping for now at least. But if it changes, I'm gonna have to raise it, and I really don't want to. Ooh. Tristan, I think I have a laser active game. Just a moment. Okay, I'm not gonna pull it out right now, but I have the game I Will. Do you need that one? My anxiety can't deal with the 3-month shipping times and 0 tracking. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I've got a laser. I think that's the only laser active game I have right now. I had a laser active before, and I had, like, 5 or 6 games for it, but that's back when I was still selling hardware. I don't wanna sell hardware anymore. I don't wanna be on the receiving end of one of those videos for all the people who are, like, taking down DK oldies right now. Because like, I can't refurbish. I cannot. I can't. I don't know how, and I wouldn't be able to, and even if I sell them as is, I'm terrified that I'm gonna send it, and it's gonna arrive broken, or it's gonna break within, like, a couple of days, and someone's gonna put up a video of me, and I'm just like, "Nah, doesn't seem worth it." I pre-ordered the Turrican collection from Simply Limited Games in spring of 2020. Oh my goodness. What's the game that you talked me into buying, Satoshi? I don't even remember. It was like I don't even remember the game. I think it was you were like, "This you should buy this game," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll buy this game." And I don't even remember what it was. And it'll come like a year from now. And yeah, I don't know. You were talking to me and you're like, "Look at this game. It was for Switch." It was through either, like, Special Reserve or Strictly Limited or one of those companies. It was a shooter, it was definitely a shooter. Yeah, pre-order, and I can't even remember what it was now, and I can't remember what company. So 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 it's gonna be like Christmas when it no, it hasn't come yet. I don't even remember what it was. I'd have to check our old chats. That's back when I still had money. I wouldn't do that now. Oh my gosh. Oh, I think it was a shooter. I think it was a shooter. I don't remember. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I was saying I was gonna go half hour ago. I'm really bad at this whole going thing, but I really enjoy this, but I'm gonna be useless tomorrow. All right. Ray's Arcade Chronology. That might be it. Yeah, I think it is actually. I think it is. Yes, that was it. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, software I'm good with selling because I can test it and like sure, it could get damaged in shipping too, but like if it's in a jewel case for a CD game, it's probably going to be fine. If it works when I test it, it's probably going to be fine. Cartridges, again, anything could happen, but for the most part, as long as I test it fairly soon before I ship it, it's probably going to arrive and it's going to work. So, yeah. Oh. Yeah, Time Gal is super expensive. Time Gal is crazy expensive. So you sent me a DM on Discord. Let me see. Okay. Hmm. Thank you for the reluctant hero. Thank you for the DM. I mean, I guess it depends on the prices of those various games. What you can get them for, but like I'm guessing Mario 3 is probably the cheapest of those. Yeah. Again, I'll probably catch you in the morning on that, but I'll put that puzzle bobble aside for you right away. All right. Oh, it was Strictly Limited games. Okay, Strictly Limited. This is my first time to buy from Strictly Limited. I bought from did I ever get that game? Sometimes I think my brain doesn't work. I think think I got a game recently that I was gonna play on stream. That one that was like a physical only release. The one that's like, oh Lord. Yeah, that physical only release that FOMO made me buy. can't can't brain. I can't brain. Laser active without a pack is only $300. That's not bad. Demon Throttle. That's it. It was Demon Throttle. All right. Hopefully, gimmick price drops the price release. I don't know. Thankfully, I was the only bidder for the laser active auction. It was like $250. Yeah, yeah. If it doesn't have the packs, it's just a rather large laserdisc player, and not even one of the better standalone laserdisc players. But the laser active part makes it neat. All right. Hoo, 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 hoo. Okay. Doesn't even have auto side changing. I like mine. I like mine. My lasers player is a what's the model number out here? DVL9. It's a DVD laserdisc combo with auto side changing. Also plays VCDs and yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It's not the best remote. I like the ones with the click wheel better than the standard ones, but it works. It works. I like it. Really? Mine does. It even has the VCD logo right on it. Yeah, mine does VCDs. Maybe the US one didn't. I don't know. Word to the wise, don't collect Neo Geo games in 2023. The best, yeah. My laser active remote was $70 from the Ukraine. That was a gamble considering what was going on there. I don't want to pay $200 plus for the remote. Yuck. They've also got like special laser active branded controllers that are insanely expensive. Just insane. And the only thing different is that they say laser active on it. I'm still collecting Neo Geo CD games. Neo Geo CD games are a great thing to collect now, especially if you're going to get a Polymega, because that's going to take away the main problem of them, which was the terrible loading times, but still have that enhanced music. So, yep. But yeah, AES games. I mean, I don't think I'm going to ever buy any more big titles. I don't think, unless I get a really good deal. But you know what? There was a time in 2001 when you could get like a copy of like Samurai Showdown 2 for 500 yen. You know what I mean? You could get a lot. You could get King of Fighters 94, 95, and 95 for $20 each. They just, and I saw them and I'm like, I'm like, oh, I've got a copy of Samurai Showdown already. I shouldn't buy these other 8 copies here and put them in a vault or something. Yep. I'm surprised the laser active 3D glasses weren't a candidate for the 3D. Maybe if our channel is a lot more popular, but we don't have that kind of money. Sorry. Welcome to another episode of Vink Types. All right. I'm surprised the laser actually, yeah, missing is expensive. All right, for real this time, which is sad because I am enjoying this so much, and I got to thank my wife for this because I said I was thinking of streaming tonight, and then I was like, maybe I should just go to bed. Maybe I don't want to, deal with all this. But she's like, I think you should. You really enjoy it, and she was totally right. So, um, you should consider custom firmware for your Retron 5. Yeah. Ooh, that sounds good. Season 2 of Vink Types is the best. Yes. Ooh, that sounds like a nice feature. It adds PC engine oh, okay. Through the hmm. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I was having a hard time just updating my Retron 5 firmware to begin with, but yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'll see. I don't know. I'm really interested in the Polymega right now, to tell you the honest truth, but like the shipping to Japan is insane. Just insane. Okay. Anyway, boop, 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 boop. Yeah, my Retron 5 for firmware was borked. Although I think I figured out that it might have been the SD card. So, but I haven't tried it again since then. So, Sean loves his though. He's playing it all the time. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna head out. Everyone, um, thank you, especially those who stayed through the serious part of this conversation, and just I just appreciate you all so much. And be safe, be good, and I'll see you again soon. Hopefully, real soon. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Love you.